Good morning, my dear students. How are you? I hope you all are safe and fine at your home. So today what we are going to learn? Today we are going to learn a circuit training method. And what is this circuit training method and why it is so important? What is the mean to understand this topic clearly? Right? So it is a very important topic that we are going to learn today, and it is totally based on the coordinative ability. So here we will able to understand what circuit training method or is coordinative ability. Right, dear students? So as we all earlier started about what is coordinative ability, right? So what is coordinative ability? It is the ability of an individual to perform movement with perfection and efficiency. Got it? And I also told you about the 6 types of coordinative ability, right? That is the adaptive ability, right? There are a lot of, we had already started about the different, that is the kinds of coordinative ability that we had studied. There are basically 6 types of coordinative ability. So what are these 6 coordinative abilities are? The first coordinative ability is adaptive coordinative ability. The second one is balance ability. Third one is combinatory. Fourth is kinesthetic. Fifth is rhythmic. And the sixth one is orientation ability. Got it? So what you need to understand is, so basically these 6 types of coordinative ability, that is adaptive ability, balance ability, combinatory ability, kinesthetic ability, rhythm ability, and orientation ability. So first we'll have to understand what is this adaptive ability. So when we do the modification in our motor activities, right? What we do when we do the modification in our motor activities that are adaptive ability, right? So what is this adaptive ability? What I'm gonna tell you is, so what I'm gonna teach you today, this adaptive physical ability, right? So this is the modification in the motor activity, right? So let's say this is the ball that I am having with me, right? So let's play something, let's do something. So I'm storing it up 1, 2, 3. Now when this ball comes here, see my hand, this, okay? And I'm going here. So if this ball come here, I'm putting it here. Which come here, my hands suddenly go there. Here, there, here, there, here and there. Sometimes there, sometimes there, right? So anywhere it could be. So see what I'm doing. Once when I throw, I do the modification in my motor activity. See, I'm scrolling here, and suddenly it comes on my face, right? Suddenly it comes on my face. So what I do the modification in my motor activity, right? So let's say I'm storing it like this, right? And suddenly it's come here, right? So what I did the adaptive ability. So what is this? This is the body of my adaptive ability, that I adapt my skills. That I show the modification in my motor activity, right? Because I know this ball is coming this way, and suddenly when it comes here, so I'll catch it, right, again. So this is what? This is called something that is the adaptive ability, to do adaptation, to do modification in the motor activity, right? Now let's say the next one, that is the balance ability, right? What is the next? That is the balance ability. Now what is balance? If I can hold this ball on this finger or something like this, right? So what's that? That is the balance ability. If I'm doing Shirshasana, that is also the balance ability, right? So if I'm performing such kind of activities, right? So these kind of activities are considered in the balance ability, right? Now what is this combinatory ability? So combinatory ability is something which is, to perform a complex movement. Which kind of movement? To perform a complex movement, right? So to perform the skills in such a way that they look complex. So definitely when you are playing football or when you are playing any game, right? Let's say you are playing kabaddi, so when you go for dubki, okay, when you go for the toe touch, when you go for the back kick, these things are something which is very much complex, right? So what I am going to tell you here is this combinatory abilities to perform some complex movement with the coordination in other activities. Let's say I am playing kabaddi, right? So if I am playing kabaddi and suddenly if I have the skills like toe touch, the skills like back kick, the skills like chest touch, okay? So to perform that activity, see, these activities are not so normal, these are the complex movement. So it is the ability, combinatory ability is the ability of an individual to perform the complex movement, to perform the complex skill. Next is kinesthetic ability. Now what is this kinesthetic ability? Kinesthetic, see, you all, this kinetic means something which is in motion. Okay, let us suppose think about the kinetic energy. And what is this kinetic energy? Energy passes by the virtue of its motion or movement, right? So this kinesthetic ability is what? Kinesthetic ability means to perform a graceful action, right? So how do you perform the graceful action? How do you perform the graceful, skill? Until and unless you possess a good amount of strength, endurance, flexibility, speed, and coordinative ability, there will be a kinesthetic ability. Now this kinesthetic ability means you perform the activity in such a way that comprise of lot of activities, and this activity will give you the kind of graceful action, right? So let's say if I told you to write in a board exam, okay, so I'm giving you one task. Let's see, there will be your board examination. What an individual do there? Individual will write properly, will write perfectly, will write accurately, will decorate everything with the simple manner, right? Not that kind of decoration, but the way of presentation in the mark sheet. The way of not the mark sheet, the way of presentation in the answer booklet, right? So how you deliver your answer when you are in board exam, or how you let's suppose you can take an example of a project work given by the school to you. So if you had a project work which is given by your school to you, so how you will write there? You will just tape out some borders with colorful tape, right? You will give beautiful heading, some good kind of calligraphy and all. So what you are showing here, the fine motor development of your fingers. When you are writing, that is a fine motor development. When you are taping the corners, that is a motor, that is gross motor development, right? So what exactly you are doing? You are making coordination with different organs of the body, like eyesight and everything, and you make this action graceful. What have you made? You made this action graceful. Last, that is the orientation ability, right? Orientation ability is a group of activities related to the group of activities which are performed together to make the action perfect. Let's say if you want to organize any program, so first duty is to divide the duty, first priority is to divide the duties among different groups, to distribute the work among different people, right? So it is very important the same manner. See, if you are playing football, okay, so you should be mentally, physically and intellectually alert, right? Now how you should be mentally alert? Let's say if you are playing football, so you don't know that when balls come to you and when you goes to the ball, right? So you will have to be alert, you will have to be alert for the header, right? For header you will have to alert, for kick you will have to alert, to stop the ball you will have to alert, then if for dribbling or to do something, you will have to be alert while playing football. In the same manner, while playing kabaddi, so when the player come and when he or she will attack at you, you will have to alert. You will have to perform some coordinative exercise. If you are a chaser or if you are a runner in a kho, you must alert it when you got the kho and when you move, right? When you got the kho, and you will have to run and catch that particular person. Kho is the fastest game, and lot of skills, lot of different coordinative exercises required here. So this is what we are going to understand here, that orientation ability is the most important part, right? So what we had studied till adaptive ability, balance ability, combinatory ability, kinesthetic ability, rhythm ability, orientation ability. This adaptive abilities, in simple words, we told it modern, that is modification of motor activity. Balance ability, we called it stable position. Competitive ability is performing complex movement. Kinesthetic ability is the dynamic feature of the movement. Rhythm ability is the graceful action. And orientation ability is the performing different kind of coordinative exercise to show a partial movement into a complex manner. Got it? So I hope it is done with what is coordinative ability and what are the types of coordinative ability. Got it, dear students? Now what we are going to learn? We are going to learn the training method, right? Which kind of training method? The training method to develop the coordinative exercise, right? That is the coordinative ability. So the first thing that we are going to learn today is the circuit training method. Now what is the meaning of circuit? Circuit means there are some stations, there are some points. Okay, like A, B, C, D, something. So here in the circuit training method, first we need to understand what's the purpose. So the purpose of this training method is to develop a high amount of strength and endurance, as well as these exercises very good for all the beginners to boost up the all physical fitness components. Now what is this physical fitness component? So this physical fitness component has strength, endurance, flexibility, and all of I told you earlier, right? So this circuit training method is basically given by Morgan and Adamson. So there were the educationists named Morgan and Adamson. So this is given by Morgan and Adamson, and it is very important to develop all the components of physical fitness. Now what are the components of physical fitness that I earlier told you? That is our strength, endurance, flexibility, speed, right? Coordinative ability. Okay, so endurance, that is what? Ability to resist fatigue. Strength, ability to overcome resistance. Okay, speed, ability to perform movement as fast as possible. Okay, and what is the next? Flexibility. Flexibility is the ability of our joints to move within maximum range. So these are some important points that we need to understand here, that the circuit training method is very important. Okay, it's a part of our life, it should be the part of our life to maintain the coordinative ability of our body. Now what is the exactly the meaning of this coordinative ability? So in coordinative ability, the series of exercises are performed without rest. Okay, so the series of exercises performed continuously without rest at different stations or different points, right? So let's say, how I should say you, let's say the most important thing that I would like to tell you, definitely it will be very interesting. So the most important thing that I want to tell you is series of coordinative exercises. It means there will be a lot of exercise. Okay, so let us first see what are the exercises. So let's say first we'll take skipping. Let's second take what? Toe touch, alternate toe touch, alternate toe touch. Right, what's the next exercise we'll take? So next exercise we'll take is alternate toe touch. So walking lunges, high jump, low jump, high jump and low jump. Right, what is the next exercise? We'll have to take at least 6 to 10 exercises, right? So skipping, alternate toe touch, walking lunges, high jump, low jump. Okay, next is skipping we have done. So crunches, that is sit-ups, push-ups. After push-ups, what will you do? Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take the another exercise. The exercise is sideward bending. Okay. Next is frog jump, etc. So this different kinds of activities. So what is the first duty of a people to organize this? The very first duty is to think what are the different kinds of exercise that we have to take in this circuit training method, right, dear students? So it is the most important part where you have to think about which activity you are going to incorporate in your part, right? So here in this circuit training method, a series of exercises are performed continuously without rest. So what is the principle? What is the principle of this training method of developing this coordinative ability? The principle is workout, and only workout. There is no rest. Okay? There is no rest, only workout and workout. In this kind of training methods, there is no rest. Right? With continuously series of exercises performed without any rest. Okay? So let's see over the next thing that I will tell you here. Usually 5 to 10 activities are there. So you can either take 5 activities, you can either take 10 activities, you can either take 20 activities, right? So 20 will be more. If there is a lot of number of students is more, you can go for this 20 activities. See, so it is a good kind of activity for the teacher or the coach when there is a number of students are more, right? So working stations. In this kind of training method, there are some points, there are some working stations where an individual will perform a certain kind of exercise, right? Next is there is why it's called circuit, because there is a lot of circuits maintained there. Plan in well advance. The circuit training method is very important to plan in advance. Otherwise, there will be a lot of clashes. Otherwise, there will be a lot of problems. An individual will have to face. Right? The coach as well as the student will be now, confused while performing this, right? So planning is it's a pre-work done before the program. So one should think about this different exercise, right? As we have planned here now. So one should plan in advance which exercise they are going to be. Most important time is one should also aware about the duration of each activity. It means at a particular time how much time will be spent here on skipping, let's say 2 minutes. So in earlier we'll have to tell our students that you will have to do 2 minutes skipping, you will have to go for 50 alternate row touch, you will have to go for walking on the stand, you will have to do high jump, low jump for 2 minutes, you will have to do sit-ups 60, you will have to do push-ups 30, you will have to do sideward bending either side 10 times, frog jump and etc. So we need to tell our students, we need to plan this thing in advance, that what to do and what not to do, and what is the time duration of the activity that we are going to tell our students, right? So it is very important to understand what are the activities we are going to take, right? Now let's see what are the advantages of this training. Okay, so it is the best method for the beginners to develop all the physical fitness components, that is the strength, ability to overcome fatigue, that is endurance, ability to overcome, strength is the ability to overcome resistance, or next is endurance, endurance is the ability to overcome fatigue, speed is the ability to perform a movement as fast as possible, flexibility is the ability of our joints to move in maximum range, and this coordinative ability is the ability to perform movement with perfection and efficiency. So it is the best method to develop all of this. Each, a single coach can control a number of students if we divide the students in such a manner. Okay, maximum functioning of muscles. The most important thing here we achieved is maximum functioning of muscles. Now, how this maximum functioning of muscles is achieved? See, when a student is performing something, right? So here is also a major concern that one exercise is working for, let's say, calf muscles. So the another exercise should not working for that muscle. So you have to do exercise for around shoulder or something, or ankle twist, or you can do elbow twist, something else. So what we need to keep in mind, we need to perform different kinds of activities which helps to give massage or which help to give exercise to different muscles. So it's the best exercise for the maximum functioning of muscles. It helps, general is it has to do a general as well as specific warming up. Now what is this general and specific warming up? So let me tell you what is warming up first. So warming up is a general raising of our body temperature. What is warming up? It is a general raising of our body temperature, right? So now let's see what is types of warming up. Now what is the general warm and what is the specific warm, right? So general warm. General warm up, specific warm up. So we are talking about general warming up, some general exercise are performed to raise the body temperature, and when I am talking about this specific, so for a particular game like explosive game, like body contact games, like strength related games, like speed related games, so some specific exercises are performed for a particular game, and there are some general. So here in this coordinative circuit training method, we will be able to understand what exactly it is. We will be able, it is good for the people to perform the various kind of activities. So general warm up as well as specific warm up can be done here. Now let's see, there is one more term that I would like to tell you here is limbering down. What is it? Limbering. Limbering. What is this limbering down? To raise, to make the temperature to the such an extent there the cooling down. Limbering down is also called cooling down. It is the way after a stressful activity or after a play or after a match, if the individual wants to keep the body in a stable position and lets the body temperature at the comfortable zone, or to bring the body temperature into the normal extent. That is what is limbering down. Got it, students? Now let's wrap it and we'll make a circuit training chart, and we'll be able to understand it properly, that exactly what is the circuit training method, okay, and how to design a circuit training method. So this was the most important part for us, right? So let's start to make, okay. So first thing to make a circuit training method is we need to design some circuits, stations. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let me wrap it and put one more. Okay. So this is the circuit I have made. So let's say this is circuit number 1, circuit number 2, working station 3, working station 4, or circuit something else you can say, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there should be around 5 to 10 exercises. So we have taken 8 exercises, let's say, right? Now what is the next thing? We'll have to make some arrows, right? So this is clockwise. You can also take it anti-clockwise. It is up to you, right? So what we need to do? We need to write the name of exercise first. So let's say I want to assign the first. I'll be divided. I have, let's suppose I have 16 students. So what I'll do, I'll divide it into 2 students in each group. So 2 students will perform the same exercise at a time for a particular time period, right? So let's say I'm writing here. First is jump, that is high as well as low, right? Second that I'm going to tell you is hand rotation. Hand rotation. Now next we're going to take is sit-ups. Next is push-ups. Next is skipping. After skipping, what's the next? After skipping, the next thing is we can take alternate toe touch, shoulder rotation, right? After shoulder rotation, what else coach. Okay, in this manner, right? So here what we need to understand, the basic concept to understand here is the circuit training method is something which is totally related to the different coordinated exercise. So now this coach will, after this coach will make blow a foxtrot whistle. Okay, so who will be there? Coach will be there. Now what's the time duration? So let's say we have 16 students, number of students are 16, and time duration at particular stations is, let's say, fixed at 2 minutes. Okay, so I have fixed at 2 minutes. Okay, so I have fixed 2 minutes for each one. So what I'll be first, I'm telling my students to go for the warming up, right? First they will take 2 or 3 rounds of the ground, that is slowly, so the general body temperature will raise up. Okay, but the next thing here we need to understand is, now I'll be telling them on the first station student that is going to go for jump, high jump and low jump. In the same manner, I will be distributing my all the students, that is my 16 students, to do in each working station. One I am telling for the jumping, high and low for 2 minutes, hand rotation for 2 minutes, sit-ups for 2 minutes. So let's say how many push sit-ups you can do in 2 minutes. Push-ups for 2 minutes, skipping for 2 minutes, alternate toe touch, alternate toe touch for 2 minutes, shoulder rotation for 2 minutes, walking lunges for 2 minutes, right? What important thing that I have done here is, in each of the exercise, different working of muscles will be happening. There will be, the working with different muscles is taken place, right? So you can't say that there will be any problem regarding what? Regarding the different working of muscles. Got it? So what is the major thing and what is the most important thing we need to keep in our mind? We need to keep that this maximum functioning of muscle should be taken place, right? If this maximum functioning of muscle will take place, then and then the principle, then and then the main purpose of the circuit training method will be taken place, right? Say let's say this in the first exercise. Okay, so if I'm talking about this jumping, right? So in jumping there will be cardiovascular endurance. In jumping there will be, it will helps to strengthen the what? It will help to strengthen the leg muscles, right? If the students are doing hand rotation, there will be the motion of the shoulder. There will be it helps to strengthen the shoulder muscles, right? Sit-ups, which is totally for the core, so it builds the core, it's strong, and it leads to the decrease in the obesity that require deposition in the body. If we talk about push-ups, so what these push-ups will help? These push-ups will help an individual to make the, it definitely helps in the endurance as well as the strength. So chest muscles will increase, the chest and the back will broaden. Skipping it's a good kind of activity for the whole body. So the whole body muscles will be engaged here. Alternate toe touch, when you go for the alternate toe touch, the muscles of your back will stretch, and then the hands will stretch. There will be the lubrication of the joints of your knee. So all of things will take place there, and it's definitely a good exercise, right? Shoulder rotation. Now what does the shoulder rotation help? The shoulder rotation will have the motion of shoulder, right? And will strengthen the joints also. Walking lunges is the next exercise to remove the fat deposited in the thigh region, in the hip region. So one should go for all this exercise, or you can design your own circuit training method, right? So now let us understand what an individual have to do. So let us suppose we have 60 students. How many students we have? Let us suppose we have 16 students, and I am going to assign each activity for 2 minutes. How many students we have? We have 16 students, and each student will perform this exercise for how many minutes? Definitely, it is for 2 minutes, right? So let's say the 2 minutes first duty is to distribute. What is the first step? You distribute all the 16 students to the particular station. That is 2 students in each of the place. Now what is the next thing to think? The next thing is to, here I will be telling as and when I blow the foxtrot whistle. So what my students will start to do, my students will start it, that is what they are going to do exactly. They will be started to what we can say, then we started performing that exercise. Like these people were performing jumping high and low. So for a particular exercise, they will be start jumping, sometime high and sometime low, sometime high and sometime low. In the same way, you can also do wherever you are sit, wherever you are stand. Because while continuously studying, some physical exercise is very important. Otherwise, you will be feeling lazy. If you are not physically fit, you can't be prosper by mentally, some mental thought process and intellectual process. So if you want to excel, if you want to crack NEET, if you want to crack JEE, IIT, whatever, CA, CS, etc., whatever you want to do, you must have to perform exercise so that you will be physically fit, emotionally balanced, mentally stable, okay, and intellectually strong. Okay, so thought process will be creative, the innovation will come in your thoughts, and life is totally transformed. There will be self-rectification, you will be able to understand your thought process. Okay, so that what I tell you here is this is very, very important thing, that is, first person will go for jumping, second person means each group has two students, right? So the first person will go jumping for high and low for 2 minutes, second person will do hand rotation for 2 minutes, sit-ups, these 4 buildings. So they will go for 2 minutes sit-ups. Either the pace is on set up on them, that they will do slowly, they will do fast. Push-ups they will do according to their own pace, but one need to understand that whenever an individual is performing push-ups, that thing should be very important. So let me tell you how this push-ups. Let's say this is the body of an individual. Okay, this is the foot, and this is the face of an individual, and these are the hands. Okay, so let's say this is the body. Okay, and this is the foot. So when an individual is performing this, generally what's happened, people start push up, the hand become like this. So this hand should always be here, right? This hand should always be here. Touch with this back position. So whenever you are performing push-up, your hand should not go like this. Your hand should always come like this, right? There should be touch with your back. Okay? So one should, on this hand should be touch with the back. Not this should not be like this. It should be always like this. So push-up to perform any exercise. So the very important for the coach is to have a strict observation on the students, what exactly the student is doing, etc. So if someone is so obese and he started to do skipping, so one should avoid, extensive skipping. Start for day by day, otherwise there will be a kind of internal injury can take place. Alternate toe touch. What is this alternate toe touch? So when you alternate toe touch, one should perform, smooth movements. One should not go for this jerky movements. Shoulder rotation should be done full, because generally what students and I see people do, generally this is shoulder rotation. But how to perform this shoulder rotation? This, let's see, I have put my hand here. So you'll have to rotate it full if you are putting it like. I am doing back rotation, right? So it should be go full. And if I am doing forward, so it should come from here and it's go back, then again it's come from here. So there will be full rotation. Which kind of rotation? There will be full rotation. So it is very, very important for an individual to perform the movements, to perform any action gracefully, completely, properly. So I will just like to tell you 2 of these. First is coordinating exercise, coordinating ability. It's 6 types, and training. Right? So these are 3 things that we have did today, 3 topics we had done today. Now let's say what is this coordinativity? Let us come and let us recapitulate what we had started today. So my dear students, see, this coordinative ability is a kind of ability, right, which helps an individual to perform movement with perfection and efficiency, right? It is one of the most important for development of all the physical components. This method was developed by Morgan and Adamson. Okay, so in circuit training method, series of exercises performed. We are going to recapitulate, so please pay attention, please be alert, please be active. Okay, so this continuously series of exercises are performed without any rest at the different stations, and these stations we also call circuit or points. It is performed at a small place known as circuit. So usually you can take a 5 to 10 selective exercise, right? Now see this circuit training method, if you want to design, so you will have to be pre-planned the things. You'll have to plan the things in advance. Now the question comes, why this circuit training method is important? What is the advantages of it, right? So the first advantage, it's the best method for the beginner to develop the strength, endurance and coordinative ability. A single person, that is the coach, right? A single coach can control a number of students. 5 to 10 students can be trained at the same time. Even I used to teach 30, 40, 60 students at a time. So it's a good exercise for that also. Circuit training method does not create boredom, because there is a lot of creative activities, there is a lot of different activities, or even each after next. So it will create innovative ideas, and the student will feel joyful and they will be very happy when they perform this. So general as well as specific exercise is also done. So warming up and all the specific exercise and general exercise could be done properly. Now what are the points we need to consider before we organize this? So we need to know what is the number of repetition or what is the time duration for each activity. We should plan different exercise from the previous one. No rest should be taken place. There should not be any rest providing in between this training. Duration of exercise must be approx from 30 seconds to 2 minutes, right? And the circuit training method, as you can see on this board. So it is very important to to make or to perform the exercise properly, comfortably, and with a particular body alignment, stable position, right? So what is balance, if I ask you? Balance is a stable position, right? So one should go for all this kind of activities in a proper manner, in a perfect way, and I hope this is more important. And my dear student, please keep in mind that this topic is very important for the board purpose as well as in 11. So if you want to excel your marks, if you want to do something very great, so keep on learning and take care. Bye bye. We'll meet tomorrow with new points, with new learning, with new joy, and with new fun. Bye bye. Take care, and lot of loves and blessings to each and every one of you.